الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. In the name of Allah, the gracious, the merciful. Praise be to the Almighty, the Lord of the world, gracious, the merciful, Master of the day of judgment. Thee alone to be worshipped, and Thee alone to be beseeched forever. Guide us in the right path, the path of those on whom You have bestowed Your blessings, not those who have incurred Your displeasure, not those who have gone astray. Amen. Thank you.
Very esteemed former Vice Chairman, University Grants Commission, Dr. Devaraj sir. Very esteemed Mr. Shankar, former Secretary, GIPP, Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion. Our beloved Chairman, Board of Management, Mr. Abdul Qadir Rahmani Buhari, and then with Anna University. Then in the year 2009, we have been upgraded as deemed to be university under Section 3 of the UGC Act by UGC and MHRD. Thus, we are functioning as a deemed to be university for the last 8+ years. Within this short span of time, our Crescent is one of the 4 universities in India got awarded an overall 4-star rating by the QS, an international ranking agency for the universities across the globe. Very few universities across the globe have been awarded an overall 4-star rating. Out of the 8 parameters considered for audit and evaluation, we have bagged 5 stars in 4 categories, namely teaching, employability, facilities and inclusiveness. QS says that a typical 4-star university is a highly international, demonstrating excellence in both teaching and research. The institution provides an excellent environment for the students and faculty. Earlier, our Crescent has been accredited by NAAC with A grade in the very first cycle of accreditation, and the same is valid up to May 2019. 16+4, 20 of our programs are accredited by NBA under Tier 1 format under Washington Accord. Probably no other institute in this country would have got 20 of the programs accredited by NBA under Tier 1 format under Washington Accord. Today also you would have read in newspapers about the uncertainty of Kuwait engineers whose institutes were not accredited by NBA.
Sir, Grants Commission, Dr. H. Devaraj, Chairman, Board of Management of Crescent, Mr. Abdul Qadir, Mr. Ashwin Fernandez, Regional Director of QS of Middle East, North Africa, South Asia, Ms. Ajita Shekhar Rani, Mr. Shantos Kavanan Nanda, Registrar in charge, Dr. M.S. Haji Sheikh Mohammed, Director of ARIA, Dr. R. Rajan Prabhu and his team. My dear colleagues, representative from press and media, special invitees, ladies and gentlemen, though I could not attend this award ceremony, my heart and soul is with you. Even though Crescent has achieved several laurels in the past, the recognition from an international ranking agency, QS, is very special in the annals of Crescent history. We are just an 8-year-old deemed to be university. Within this short span of time, I'm really happy and proud to say that QS has recognized the performance and achievement of Crescent and rightly awarded an overall 4-star rating. When I taken a decision to appear for QS star rating for the process, my objective was not only to get awarded a good overall rating, but also to get into the top 1,000 ranks of the QS University rankings. in the years to come and then slowly get into the top 500. I'm sure Crescent will achieve this feat sooner than later. Thanks to the support of the board management, we are taking several initiatives pertaining to quality achievement and internationalization of our Crescent. In this context, I congratulate all the members of the faculty, supporting staff and students, and especially the Director of Accreditation, Ranking and International Affairs, Professor Dr. R. Rajaprabhu, and his team, who never gave up on our pursuit of excellence. Here, I am an earnest appeal to all the members of the press and media. When a young institute like Crescent has reached some milestones and achievement, for that matter, any good achievement by any Indian university should be given wide encouragement, a good coverage by press and media. I appreciate and express my sincere thanks for all the press and media persons who have gathered here on our invitation for the coverage to be made in your respective columns. I wish the QS SARS Award ceremony to B.S. Abdul Rahman, Crescent Institute of Science and Technology, a resounding success. Thank you very much.
Become the world's leading ranking. 2018, we celebrate the 15th anniversary of our QS World University Rankings. And these rankings, especially in India, have received tremendous recognition, especially from the government. You probably have seen with the Institution of Eminence project, the government has mandated that the performance of institutions will be measured through the top 500 performance of universities in QS rankings, besides the other ranking as well. But rankings are the most elite list. They do have their limitations, and while having the 6 to 9 indicators are really good, we wanted to have a measure for institutions to be looked at much differently and on many more parameters than what the ranking covers. Hence, the QS Stars rating was launched in 2010. It is not a ranking, so it does not give you ranks, and as a very famous Vice Chancellor from the University of Cape Town mentioned, it would be very good to have several universities get 5 stars and share the limelight. The actual quote is actually pretty long, but not everybody can be 1, not everybody can be 2. But with a rating system, we can look at how a university is performing into much more detail and club universities together. World. It is also the 3rd institution in the state of Tamil Nadu to receive this recognition, and it's amongst the top 5 institutions in India to receive this rating. Besides the 4 stars, and that's the beauty of the rating system, we find out what are the other great areas, what's happening at the institution here, and I can proudly say that there are some areas which have received top rating. That's the 5-star rating, and that's teaching, employability, facilities, and inclusiveness. And why I would like to stress a little bit on inclusiveness, because in inclusiveness we look at gender diversity, we look at disabled access, we look at lower income outreach and sense of lower income families joining the institution. So I can say that when we look at these areas, it is a proud moment for the institution to receive a top rating in these 4 areas. And in social responsibility, it has also received a 3-star rating, as well as in the subject of computer science. So congratulations to the people.
Mr. Abdul Qadir A. Rahman Bukhari. Could I now request our esteemed and debonair Chairman of Board of Management
to the quality standards of education institutions in India. So thank you for inviting me for that. And subsequently I took Nuanzo for a dinner. I think that's what worked. I took Nuanzo to a dinner in Karim's itself. There was only one government institution, school in our village called Kilakarai, called Hamidiya Higher Secondary School. And that school was in the danger of being closed because of want of students. So he wrote a letter to the village elders requesting them not to allow that school to be closed. Apart from that, he came back and campaigned village to village. You have to imagine this in 1950s. There is no bullock cart, there is no cycle. He had to walk. The importance of that school is today there are graduates from that school sitting here. So the sense of the importance of education was ingrained in him at that young age itself. So when he had the means to study, when he had the means to start, he started the first school 50 years back. Before it became popular for schools to be started, he started the school 50 years back. We celebrated 50th year. This is actually the 50th year for Crescent Boys School, which is in Wanderlore. And I studied there, my brother studied there, so it was a place where most of us studied. And actually, to be very, how do I put it, clear on his thinking, he did not want to start an engineering college. He only wanted to start an ITI, a training center, because we had a large company in Middle East, we still have. So he wanted plumbers, electricians, and mechanics, but he didn't want engineers. So he wanted to start an ITI. And it was called Salia Kamal ITI because the gentleman from Saudi Arabia was saying that I'll also give you a contribution. That contribution never came. But it was M.G. Ramachandran, the then Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, who encouraged my father to say, Abdurrahman, you're not doing anything. No, sir, doing business in India is very difficult. No, you're already running 12 educational institutions. Start a college. And he gave the college. One very important point that Ashwin touched upon, and I would like to highlight here, is that we are a very inclusive institution. Even though we are a minority institution, we give equal opportunity to everybody based on merit. So any of you who are applying to our institution will get scholarship, will get the courses you want based on your merit. We do not give on caste, creed or religion. In that we are very unique. And we want to take the level of higher education to the best in the world. When people ask me what is that you are looking at, they are doing this, they are saying, I said, we are doing path-breaking things. To give an example.
That itself, in a short span of time, speaks of both your ambition and the achievement that you have made so far. But I think it's important also not to rest on your laurels, but to strive for much greater excellence, and that is something which was commendable, that now that you are in the first 100 institutions in India, you want to rise up further and you want to be in the first 1,000 institutes globally and then later in the first 500 institutes globally. Now I think that's a very admirable objective, to constantly strive for improvement and excellence in your education. Today, I think we are witnessing technological change at a pace which is really happening in real time. So everything we know today may change in the future. We are on the cusp of major transitions, both economically as well as technologically. And the key to be able to ride this wave of change, or the fourth industrial revolution as it is being called, is going to be education, education, and education. And it is not going to be, that you go for a degree and that you then sit back and, lead the rest of your life based on the academic qualification that you have achieved at one stage. It is going to be now for future generations a life of constant learning, because the changes in technology are so incessant and also so disruptive that to be able to ride them, you will constantly, the young of today will not have the kind of settled careers that we had. They will have far more change in their lifetime than we ever knew. And their ability to handle this will really depend on their openness to constantly striving to learn and to understand what is happening in the world today. Whether it is artificial intelligence, whether it is robotization, whether it is 3D manufacturing, digital manufacturing, you are seeing a whole change in the way work is done. And for India, because so much of our success post the 91 reforms came from the information technology sector. And in manufacturing, really, there were two sectors where we did reasonably well. One for which Chennai is the base, automobiles and automobile components, and the other was pharmaceuticals and chemicals. We are still to make major breakthroughs in many other sectors of manufacturing. Now, that is where I think we will have to change, because the kind of bottom-end jobs that our IT people were doing will no longer be available. The cloud, the Internet of Things, automation, artificial intelligence, digitization, all these are changing the way work is done, and our students will have to train and re-equip themselves for these new sectors and these new ways of handling technology. Otherwise, we risk becoming irrelevant. And of course, the whole challenge of manufacturing is there, including low-cost manufacturing, which we have not been able to succeed in, and which provides jobs to people, who are not that well educated. So,
Crescent Institute of Science and Technology for getting 4-star status. A good big congratulations. First of all, I want to congratulate. I think Mr. Fernandez has rightly pointed out QS means it's a two founders' name. I think that's what he mentioned. But he mentioned that Q stands for quality, S stands for success. Can you define these two things? It's very difficult to define these two things. I think quality always in terms of excellence. So can you define excellence? You cannot define excellence. Absolutely uncompromising pursuit of excellence is my philosophy. What is excellence for you? It may not be an excellence for me. What is excellence for me? It may not be an excellence for you. It's a limitless ladder. Every day is a new day. So that's the way I think, I always say that this is the way I give the definition for excellence. But for the success, I can give a different explanation. Success, what is success? Can you define success? It's again a perception. But when you give a success, what is success? When your autograph, when your signature turned into an autograph, that is success. So today, I think the QS has given their signature in the form of an autograph to Burhan. So a big congratulations to him. And you should understand, I think this institute has done a lot of hard work. So I feel that as an youngster, I used to listen to Professor M.S. Swaminathan's convocation address. He used to say sustainable development. I don't understand what is the meaning of sustainable development. I was looking at it. Then later I came to know this is nothing but perseverance and hard work and endurance. I think that is how, I think in order to get this, in order to have the sustainable development, you need, I think this institute has completed 34 years probably, 25 years as institute as an engineering college and 9 years as an university. I think this sustainable development means they should have at least two kind of parameters. Two things they should have. One is patience. When you don't have anything, you should have patience. When you have everything, probably right now, after 34 years, they have everything here in the institute. What they need is the attitude. So this attitude is very, very important. Can you define attitude? It's a difficult task to define attitude. Ability and attitude, they goes very well. So what is ability? You are capable of doing certain things. I think they have money, they have all the, background, so they can start this. But second thing, what is attitude? How best you can do it. How best you can do it is an attitude. So they should have an attitude to do very good. I think Probably that's the reason the QS has come back, and I think they've given you this kind of signature to get the 4-star status. But big congratulations to you. In Tamil, I think always say, ஒருவனுடைய வளர்ச்சியை பார்த்து பொறாமைப்படாதே, அதில் இருக்கின்ற முயற்சியை பார். வளர்ச்சியும் முயற்சியும் இணைந்தே செல்கின்றன. So in Tamil, I like one thing, the important thing, வலி இருந்தால் தான் வழி பிறக்கும். It's a very, very important thing. I like this thing, வலி இருந்தால் தான் வழி பிறக்கும். So hard work, so that always should be there. Without hard work, you cannot come up. So I think I request all the faculty members and the management to be having a sort of, every day is a new day. You have to do work hard. You should have a good attitude to come up in life. So this is very, very important. Coming to this QS, I think I was responsible for holding this meeting in Rashtrapati Bhavan. I think I've seen him there making a presentation. I called both the Times Higher Education and you. I think they made the presentation. I called all the 120 vice chancellors. I didn't know that you have come for that meeting. So I think I do not know that. So this is where I called him, and I think that's where the Prime Minister, the President, Pranab Mukherjee ji, has unveiled the India Gate, I-Gate. It's a QS I-Gate. I think probably India is a different country. You cannot compare to QS. Global standard may not work out. The reason I objected to that was, I think they are thinking that they are giving marks for foreign professors, foreign students, because you don't have that kind of facilities. So you're losing that mark. So that is the reason we have insisted that you should have an Indian scenario. I think they've come out with this, and then they've done it very nicely, and they are getting it. And which is a very important thing is, I feel that the QS is an important one. More than the QS, I think I want to congratulate this institute for getting the MBA accreditation. Because this is the real accreditation. So Washington Accord, after the Washington Accord, getting a Tier 1 accreditation is very difficult. I think they've got all the 20 courses, they've got an MBA accreditation. My congratulations to that. I think it's more than QS.
Our chairman, Mr. Abdul Qadir Abdul Rahman Buhari, has a vision to take the institution to global standards. Now you are witnessing all. And constantly guide us to strive for perfection in his activities. In every aspect of development of our institution. So on behalf of all, we extend our heartfelt thanks, sir. Our Vice Chancellor, Dansri, Tatosri, Professor, Dr. Shaul Hamid bin Abu Bakr is always an inspiring personality, renowned global educationist. Every day he is guiding us for the development of our institution. Though he is not in a position to come over here, by his video conferencing he has given his presidential address. Thank you very much, sir. Today, due to some unavoidable circumstances, our Deputy Chief Minister not able to come over here. I extend my heartfelt thanks to our Deputy Chief Minister, Mr. O. Paneerselvam sir also. On behalf of our institution, I extend my heartfelt thanks to our beloved chief guest of today's event, Dr. H. Devaraj, former Vice Chairman of University Grants Commission. Though the minimum time, within the short span of time, we have given an invitation and accepted our invitation, come over here and grace the function. Really, it is an honor to us, sir. On behalf of our management, we extend our heartfelt thanks, sir. I also extend my thanks to our thanks to Ashwin Fernandez, the Regional Director, US Intelligence Unit, UK, for honoring our institution with the QS Star Awards of Excellence. So, we assure you that we would strive to keep up and improve our global standards. Thank you very much, sir. We thank our another guest, important guest, within a short span of time. accepted our invitation and come over here and felicitated us Dr. Meera Sankar, the former ambassador to US and German. Really, a felicitation gives what importance of education and technology nowadays it is needed. With your blessings and felicitations, definitely the B.S. Abdur Rahman Crescent Institute will take a globe level and a high level, madam. Thank you for your blessings.